Hola amigos, bienvenidos a un nuevo programa de El Mundo.
Hello everyone and welcome to our show, The World. And today we're going to talk to Dr. Michael Leitman about a world basic income. There are many different models according to the different kinds of economies and the way that it changed. People don't even have a basic income, and this is one of the models that are suggested in different parts of the world. Dr. Leitman, thank you for being with us. The pleasure is entirely mine. Thank you very much. In relation to the universal basic income, we know that there is lots of unemployment in many countries. 1 of every 4 people is jobless, is unemployed, and in the United States, in Latin America, and in Europe, in different places, a basic universal income was suggested, meaning giving some kind of a minimum monthly income without any preconditions. And the other model is a basic income basket, where there is serious poverty, then for a certain period of time, to give this kind of basket, of package. They want to start implementing it already in Spain. We don't want to ask about this from the side of economy, but from the side of people, of society. In this new kind of model that is offered nowadays, what can you say in relation to this? I'm very happy that we came to this, that we're coming to this, even though that this is only the beginning. It's not complete yet. Eventually, we have to see the future of the world this way, where everyone receives and is satisfied with this general kind of income, something that everyone will accept, and that people will not be working for a paycheck, but simply because this is how they have to live their life, this is how they have to exist. Not necessarily the desire to make more is what will push them to work, but the desire to participate with everyone in a good and nice way, mutually supporting one another. Of course, these are still distant, maybe some can say socialist, communist thoughts, but eventually, I hope that this is how it is going to be. Nature is pushing us to be more suited to the integral world, and therefore we will have to think how eventually, on the one hand, do we care for everyone, and on the other hand, care for people's basic needs and no more, because otherwise we'll destroy our planet. That is really becoming depleted from day to day. And therefore, I'm very happy that there already is such a thought in several countries, especially in Latin America, that it is really worthwhile giving people that do not have the means to give them a basic income. I don't think that it's going to be a minimum income, but it will be something that will allow a person to normally exist. However, one thing to add, that if we do it this way, if we just give it this way to people, we'll ruin them. But we have to turn them into workers, but workers in a new and special way. That they're as if working. They're working for us, they study like students, and suppose 6 hours a day, they study, in the morning, in the evening, maybe in between there's a siesta.
וככה זה, אנחנו נראה בזה דווקא תוספת טובה.
This way we will see a good national, something good for the entire nation, where we have a large amount of people studying different professions, subjects that will help them become better, more educated citizens, and they will be a large and basic part in every country that will help us build a new society and a new country and a new attitude toward the new conditions that nature is presenting us with. If so, what elements does this model of a basic universal income has to include in order to yield the correct results, in order to develop people correctly? We have to prepare a study program that includes social sciences, psychology, history, geography, human development, something that can give a person a correct perspective on everything that we feel here in this world. A person has to feel how nature's teaching us and changing us throughout history, how from savages we eventually become and have to be modern people. Modern meaning, what does nature nowadays demand of us? And we see that nature is demanding us to live in an integral society. That just like nature as a whole, the still vegetative, animate, and human beings, we're all living on this planet, interconnected and interdependent, feeling this more and more from day to day. The very same way we have to understand the response that should be for us to understand these things that nature is demanding of us. And how can we really make an integral society out of ourselves? For us to understand that we're interdependent, that we have to understand that we can't keep thinking only about ourselves, because by this we destroy everything. We have to think about nature too in order to protect it, and so on and so forth. Meaning, a person has a lot to learn here, and I think that those thousands of people, I think that about 60 or 70% of the graduates are graduates from young age and until after school, and really until the end of life, until the end of their days. Everyone has to participate in this educational system, have to study through different channels, through the internet, through the media lines. Maybe also they'll go to different places and study there. And will study live. They'll feel that we care for them and we're activating them. It'll all come also through debate, through conversations. And maybe there's something that's things that are more interesting for men, things that are more interesting for women. It'll be a system of education, of dissemination and education that the people really need, because we see that in the modern world, people aren't really suited for our time. About our time, Kabbalists wrote about this many years ago. In one of his articles of Bala Sulam, we found a very interesting aspect. In the article of Matan Torah, item 8, he says, "This matter is like a rich man who took a man from the market and fed him and gave him gold and silver and every desirable thing each day. Each day he showered him with more gifts than the day before. Finally, the rich man asked, 'Tell me, have all your wishes been fulfilled?' And he replied, 'Not all of my wishes have been fulfilled, for how good and how pleasant it would be if all those possessions and precious things came to me through my own work as they have come to you, and I would not be receiving the charity of your hand.' Then the rich man told him, 'In this case, there has never been born a person who could fulfill your wishes.'" So, how is it possible to how can we present it in such a way that a person will not lose his dignity? This is what I'm saying, that they have to study, they have to participate. Aside from the theory, they also work on things in practice. And the practice is that they build society, that between them they're participating in different discussions, and that they really want to build, according to what they're learning, a new society. Meaning they have very serious work to do. And therefore, I don't think that they have to feel that as if someone's paying them and is just giving them out presents for free. But practically, through common work, they will have to build such relations between them that will affect every country. This is a very powerful national product that they're making, and it's worth much beyond the basic income, not minimum income, but basic income that they're receiving, normal income. By no means is it minimum wage or anything, but it is a basic income, what a person needs in order to live a good life without thinking about not having what to eat or not having clothes for his children for tomorrow or things like that. And all the rest of his time, he'll be able to study, engage in different kinds of sports, be with his family, build an integral environment. According to how desires develop in people, we know that there are the basic desires of food, sex, family, and then the desires for money, honor, and knowledge. And we'd like to focus on these. How does this model of basic income, how can it be expressed in these desires? How can it be implemented in the desires for money, honor, and knowledge? I think that through learning, by explaining what does an integral society have to look like, that will gradually get there. Of course, there will be tycoons, and of course, we won't be able to comb everyone to one standard of living. But still, those people that right now are leaving the labor market and they have nothing to do, and they can go back to work, but by the work that they'll be doing, they'll only destroy nature, not doing anything good neither for the country, nor for nature, nor for the world, nor for anything else. Then we simply give them work. This is called work, working on building society. It's much more important than building some machines or mobiles or something else. It's a factory, and it's the most important factory or plant that any country can have. So they will receive the honor by serving society. And no, I wouldn't use these kinds of words. We are building a new society out of those people that are participating in these studies, and this is simply how they see themselves, as builders, the builders of the new society, and they have satisfaction, and they feel pride, and they're really very important, because they represent the tomorrow. Thank you very much, Dr. Leitman, for this very interesting talk, and we'll continue on our next show. Thank you very much.